What's good YouTube, it's Adam from Wiseman. Welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm going to show you the sample used in Drake's Virginia Beach. So the song samples Frank Ocean's Wiseman. Now technically for this you need the instrumental as well as the actual track itself. But for this one I'm just going to use the actual track, not the instrumental, to chop up all the chops that we need. There are two of them. So I'm going to go ahead into Logic and just bring in Frank Ocean's Wiseman. Normally I like to set my session to auto so that Logic can detect the tempo on its own. But for some reason when there's no drums, Logic tends not to find the correct tempo. So the correct tempo for this one, after you count it out, is 108 beats per minute. And what I like to do before I start sampling so that I know everything is right on the ones is take out the little bit of blank audio at the beginning. This way you know you're getting everything lined up properly without needing to move much of anything. So you can see this is like blank audio right here. I'm just going to take that out and it starts about there. So what we're going to do is just push this back. Like I said, there are two sections in the track you want to sample. One for the intro, one for the rest of the track. Let's do the intro first. You got to go all the way to the outro of Wiseman, and it starts at bar 89. So what you want to do there is take this and just sample 8 bars of that. So we're going to chop on the one. We're going to chop on the second, or the end of the 8 bars. That is the chop for the intro. Next, let's get to the second chop. So we're going to go for the other one to bar 73 for 8 bars. This is, I believe, the third chorus in the track. So we want to take the full 8 bars for this. So what we're going to do is just chop that up on bar 73 and chop it up on bar 81. So now we have our two chops, one for the whole track and one for the intro. Now let's create a new Logic session and bring in those two audio regions. So I'm gonna create a new audio track here. And I'm gonna go off my screen, you're not gonna see it. There's the other Logic session we had. I'm just gonna bring in chop number 1, and let's drag in chop number 2 as well. So now that we got our two chops set up, what we got to do now is tempo map it to the Virginia Beach tempo, which is 120 beats per minute. So like we did in the Frank Ocean one, we got to just shift our audio regions to 8 bars. So that's 8 bars long at 120 beats per minute. So to do that, just go to the end of your region, hold down the Option key till you see these squiggly lines, click and drag it down to 8 bars. And now you technically sped it up. Now let's do the same thing to this region right here. Let's go ahead and make sure we're on 8 bars. Click, drag down to 8 bars. You see the length says stretch to 8 bars, and we're done. Now, the next thing you gotta do is take both of these regions and pitch it up 5 semitones. So I'm gonna select both, and I'm just gonna go Option, arrow up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're in the same key as Virginia Beach. So technically in the original track, you don't have those vocals. Like I said, you need the instrumental, but for the tutorial's sake, let's pretend like we did it. Now we're gonna go over to this track here. We're just gonna take a little bit of the lows and boost a little bit of the highs to make it a little bit brighter. And then we're gonna add in a little bit of chorus as well. We'll go to modulation chorus. Let's go to the glimmering chorus preset. Just bring it down to like about 50%. It just gets that sample a little bit wider. And then what we got to do is, for the intro, we got to add in a little bit of automation. So what we're going to do is this right here. We're going to hit A on our keyboard, and we're just going to basically, I don't remember exactly which bar it goes to. Let's just go all the way from here. For 16 bars, it's going to be a big intro sort of build up. So it's going to go from down, let's say minus 22 dBs all the way to level. All right, now let's get to the next part. So we're gonna take our audio region over here, or this main sample. We're gonna duplicate it over. We're not gonna copy the automation so that our level is at 0. Then we're gonna bounce this in place. Whoa, that is not bouncing in place. We're gonna hit Control B. Bounce that in place. We have a new copy of that audio. I'm just gonna move this over. And I'm gonna bring this one up. And now we just gotta reverse that region. So I'm gonna select this region. I'm gonna go to my inspector tab and click reverse. It's gonna sound like this. That's pretty much it for most of the track. Let's add in some drums. I'll go over to my drum library over here. I'm gonna go to the For All the Dogs drum kit that I recently dropped. It is a deconstructed kit featuring all the drums from all the songs. So I'm going to go to Virginia Beach, and let's start off with that rim. So I'm bring that into a drum machine designer, and let's go ahead and just draw in a pattern to make this long. And for our second half over here, we're just going to add in a second kick. Sorry, a second motion. Now let's add in the hi-hats. Bring it into my drum machine designer. I'm going to start off with a standard 2-step. And now let's add in a couple note repeats. So I'm going to go over to here. I'm going to go to note repeat. We're going to add in a 3-step here. And I think another one right over here, but it's going to be 5 this time. And a 3 over here. Except we're going to convert this to MIDI because we got to have some pitched stuff as well. So let's convert this region to MIDI. And we're just going to go over to this right over here, this roll. And we're just going to take each note and just bring it down a couple times. We're going to pitch this down a couple times, and we'll take these two as well. Something like this. And we'll bring this one down as well. And that just repeats itself basically, those 2 bars. Next, let's bring in the 808. Go back to that deconstructed kit, the Virginia Beach folder. We'll go bring in the Virginia Beach 808, and let's draw in that pattern. And now finally, let's bring in that open hat. I'm going to go back to that drum kit. Let's go back to the open hat. Let's bring that in and draw in that pattern. And that right there is the sample used in Virginia Beach along with the drums, at least for the main section of the track. If you do any questions on this, we're going to chat in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Later. Peace.